There is a information board, I guess you would call it, right here. This is called Friendship Garden. Right, those are some very beautiful plants. Okay. And it shows where the kids planted this garden. And the trees are beautiful. I'm gonna walk over here. It's a beautiful maple tree right there. That is so pretty. You know I love trees. Okay. But it's a very nice, peaceful, quiet place to go and have lunch or dinner and relax. Very shaded and beautiful, as I said before. Okay, this is Plains Baptist Church. This is the church that our 39th president, Jimmy Carter, attended from childhood. This is the church that he taught Sunday school every Sunday morning until he was unable to. And it is a very beautiful church. Very historic place. This is the Boyhood home of former President Jimmy Carter. I'm in Plains, Georgia, and I'm touring the grounds. And as we go around, I'll continue to film. Nice. That looks like the board. I love it. I'm gonna have to stop here, park. I don't know if it costs anything.
welcome to the house and the farm where I spent my youth. Here we had long working days during those Depression years. We would wake up each morning when the bell would ring about 4 o'clock sun time, which was long before sunrise. We didn't have any electricity, and we didn't have running water in our house. We got water from hand pumps for both the livestock and for our own use. It was quite a change for us when electricity came. My daddy believed in everyone on the farm doing their share. Here in the backyard, we had chickens and ducks and guinea hens and geese that we had to feed, and of course we had to sweep the yards all the time. We also had to cut wood and bring it in the house for Mama to use in the stove and also in the fireplace. And when I got older, of course, I helped milk the cows. But I also had a lot of fun as a child. I played with my playmates who lived nearby, particularly whenever it rained and we couldn't work in the field or after the crops were plowed and before the harvest. We pushed steel barrel hoops with a wire pusher. And in the nearby streams, we went fishing regularly. We built small dams. We went swimming in the creeks. So we had a lot of fun, both around the house and barn and also in the distant fields.
Oh, look at this kitchen. Wow, that's a beautiful stove.
It is.
And I think
One of Jimmy's jobs is he'd have to go out and chop the firewood and keep it stocked up in here.
wow.
When I was a boy, I was strongly influenced by my Uncle Tom Gordy, who served in the Navy. He was stationed in the Pacific on a ship. And he would often send me letters and souvenir gifts from China, Japan, the Philippines, other places that he visited. One of the presents he sent me was a small model of a Chinese junk or ship. Of course, that was one of my most cherished possessions. One of my fondest memories was a Christmas morning when I was a little boy. I had long wanted a pony and was discouraged from expecting it, but I woke up one Christmas, I was ill, I couldn't get out of the house because I had measles. And my mother and father said that maybe Santa Claus left me something outside in the yard, so I raised a window in this bedroom, looked out, and there was a pony. I have never been more excited in my life. And of course, then for years, I rode my pony, whom I called Lady. She had colts that I cherished, and it really was one of the transforming moments of my boyhood. As a boy, I was an avid reader, as was my mother. Whenever I was asked what I wanted for Christmas for Santa Claus to bring me, I always said books. Reading was really my major contact with the outside world. You know, what happened in Africa with Tarzan, what happened with Tom Swift and his adventures in scientific developments of those days. It was reading and the books that opened my eyes to the world that I didn't yet know as a boy. That reading habit stuck with me throughout my life, and that's one of the reasons that I still like to read and write books of my own. Daddy was very stingy about running the battery down, so our time was limited. Most of our listening was in the evening, and of course sometimes on weekends as well when we were not working. We really enjoyed programs like Little Orphan Annie and Amos and Andy and Corey McGee and Molly.
Well, I must say, McGee, she's here inside.
Used to be able to watch and listen to the radio at the same time, but I have a special interest in Glenn Miller's music, which came on, unfortunately, quite late at night, 8 o'clock. And Daddy would let me stay up. One of my most vivid memories about the radio was when there was and Max Milling, a white German.
Here is the biggest show on earth. Joe Lewis, the world's heavyweight champion versus Max Schmeling, Germany's contender. Weighing 198 and 3/4, wearing black trunks, the famous Detroit Brown Bomber, world's heavyweight champion, Joe Lewis.
This was a rematch, and it was filled with heavy racial overtones, I guess all over the world, but particularly in the Deep South. As the time for the match approached, our black neighbors, about 30 or 40 of them, asked my father if they could listen to the radio. Daddy approved, of course. And in the living room on the windowsill, he put the radio so that you could hear it both in the house and outside under the mulberry tree. A large crowd assembled out there. In the first round, Joe Lewis almost killed Max Schmeling.
5, 6, 7, 8. The men are in the ring. The fight is over. On a technical knockout, Max Schmeling is beaten in 1 round. The first time that a world...
Our neighbors, observing the southern proprieties, didn't make a sound. They very carefully walked out of the yard, crossed the railroad, went to a distant house. They celebrated until wee hours of the morning.
The Carter House. Very beautiful place. Plains, Georgia. This is the home of the 39th President of the United States, Mr. Jimmy Carter. And this is Plains. That is some historic buildings over there. And right here where I'm standing is a Phillips 66. And this is Billy Carter's service station. All right, and I don't know if you remember Billy Carter. He even had his own beard one time. But that's Jimmy Carter's brother. And so I'm gonna walk over here just a second and see what's going on. There's a plaque over here. And look at this vintage drink machine over here. Very, very interesting. All right, here's the plaque. Billy Carter service station. Okay, very interesting. Look at this machine. Look at the vintage Coke bottles. Yes, that is how we used to get our drinks. Put your money here. Pull your bottle out. Take the top off right here. And you could leave your bottles here for a deposit. Sometimes you could get a nickel, I think, for the bottle. Maybe not, maybe 2 cents. Okay. Then over here is the Plains Police Department. Here's an old gas station, Phillips 66. 18 cents a gallon.
What it was.
You sure it wasn't $1.18? That is the City Hall across the street. Now we're gonna move on across over here. I showed earlier there's a memorial, and we're gonna move over and go over to one of their famous restaurants, which is the Buffalo Cafe, I believe. This is a park right across from the strip. This is the Rosalind Carter Butterfly Trail. There are chairs, and there's a little wind chimes over there. Benches, a swing, and it's lighted. All right, and this is the strip right here. This is the Buffalo Cafe. And I read up on this. It's supposed to have some really good food here. It's only open from 11 to 2 or 11 to 1. And the proceeds are used to support the museums. And this is Walter Grocery Store. And it's like an antique mall. It's got all kinds of things in there. Then you've got the Plains Historic Inn. All of this is a part of it. I found that the residents of Plains are really friendly and inviting. So as we came in, we met a few of the residents and chatted a little bit. This was one of the popular places to eat here, and I wanted to get this in. And am I right in saying that the proceeds go to support the museum? Is that?
Yes, we're under Friends of Jimmy Carter.
Okay.
So actually, it does a lot of stuff for our community.
Okay. Buffalo Cafe. This is a very nice little restaurant. It's only open from 11 to 1. And it is so nice. And so we're going to eat here today. Oh, how nice. Look at the memorabilia. Plains, Georgia buffaloes. Okay. It's very nice. And I do believe that they have a place that you can eat in the back. Okay. Now I understand why it's called the Buffalo Cafe. That's the name of the high school team. Isn't this nice and quaint? Look at the flowers. I love this courtyard.
Open up.
Yes, I love it. Hello. Doing very well, thank you. I am videotaping, but I won't put you all in here. Okay. So is it okay? I don't want to intrude. Here are some of our local law enforcement officers on their lunch break. So I'm into history. So I'm doing a videotape of Plains and President Carter. And so, yes, that's what we're doing. I taught Georgia history, and I just love him. So thank you.
Wonderful city so far, you know.
This is the Plains Depot, and this is where this was the campaign spot. This is where they use as a campaign headquarters as well. And you know, Jimmy Carter was not only president, he was governor of Georgia as well. And as you can see right here, there's the train tracks. There's the train depot. And it says that it is the headquarters. And we're going to get out and take a look and see what we can see, because we're nosy like that. Right. Where is this depot? It says Jimmy Carter for president. We're going to get out and we're going to look inside and just see what's going on here. It's very nice and airy and breezy here. Very rustic. We have homemade benches. Here's the sign. We're gonna go up the steps and see. It says, "Welcome to Plains, Georgia." Tell us a little bit about Plains. There's a nice old rocker sitting there. It says, "This is Carter Country." Here's a very nice picture of the president. I like that. That's where we're standing.
Jimmy Carter entered the Democratic presidential race with a limited number. Outside of New York, you'll have many more people looking out of you than that would change. Jimmy Carter? Jimmy who? I don't know who he is. Jimmy Carter's pencil buddy. I guess looks to me it's all right. You know what I mean? You got his stomach out, yeah?
He's a people's man.
To present to you the next President of the United States, Jimmy Carter. Sometimes introductions are what follow. I remember about 5 years ago.
Here's some vintage footage.
And the young man who introduced me had done a great deal of work on my background, and he got up and said, we have with us tonight, at that time, Senator Jimmy Carter from Plains, Georgia. He went to Georgia Southwestern College where he studied chemistry. And then he said he went to Georgia Tech where he studied engineering. And then he pointed out that I had gone to the U.S. Naval Academy and received a degree in naval science. And then he said he went to Union College in Schenectady, New York, where he did his graduate work in nuclear physics. And now he said he grows peanuts for a living.